Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Monday Night Mayhem. I am your host, JT. Tonight, I am joined by Zach and Carson. Zach, say hello to the people at home.
Hello to the people at home.
Carson, say hello to the home and people.
Hello to the home, to the people,
Dude, we have to reset him already? Are you fucking serious? You broke him, dude. You fucking broke him again.
I run on Windows 95.
Oh, man, he's got that blue screen in the background with the garden and everything. And that one
Somehow
little
I'm
house.
still more efficient than Windows 11 now.
How'd they do that one? I'll never know.
And speaking of Windows 11, tonight we will not be talking about Xbox for the first time in Mayhem history. Tonight we will be talking about DLSS 5.0 and how that seems to be disturbing everybody on the internet. Arc Raiders drops AI, I believe, for their voice actors, and just a bunch of other random gaming news that has happened over the last week, 24 hours, 48 hours, 36 minutes, you name it. Get ready to settle into those ergonomic gaming chairs. Grab some diet soda, root beer, kombucha, chips, whatever you name it, and get ready to settle in to gaming's most fun podcast on Monday nights. I'm your host, your captain speaking. My name is JT. Prepare for liftoff on this week's edition of Monday Night Mayhem, where pixels meet possibilities. Game on, everybody. Fellas, you know, we always chat a little bit before we go live. And sometimes those chats are about video games. Sometimes those chats are about other random things that are just going on in our lives. But today I want to hit y'all off with a question from Lumpy Fist in Zordon's Outlet, asking, what are our thoughts surrounding loot boxes being rated 18 plus in Europe now, and should it happen in more territories? I need to center myself. What is happening?
Yes, this is good. This is all good things. I don't see any reason why, if I put down currency and there's a random chance to get a reward, it shouldn't be a little bit regulated. I don't see any downsides to this, genuinely. Like, if someone could give me an argument to why that shouldn't be on some level of a rating system, like, I'll listen to it, but I have heard nobody explain to me why, just putting up front on the box that this is like a level of gambling and should be noticed in the product that you're getting. Only good things. I'm happy about it. The loot crate buzz is a little dead though. Like, it seems like a lot of gaming has moved on from that point, which is nice to see, but it still lingers in some places, so it's good. I think it's a good thing.
Carson, you got any thoughts on this one?
I'm going to be honest. There is probably, as Zach said, some sort of devil's advocate argument that you could make and say, well, they do this or they do that, but as Zach said, it's fucking gambling. If you can put money into something and it's going to give you a return that is greater than your investment through no skill, nor labor, nor anything like that, it's fucking gambling. And, I mean, just on top of that, the most basic fucking level, loot boxes are so lame. They've always been lame. They've never been anything but lame. And like Zach said, I think they've moved too slow on this. I'm glad it's happened. Better late than never. But I do think that's not really been something that's been a focus. They still exist. But live service, season passes, bullshit like that, that's definitely where the executives, at least, their mindset is currently. Neither here nor there as far as the rest of us are concerned, I suppose. But point being, it's trash, dude. Just trash. About time. About fucking time.
When's the last time that you heard about a loot box controversy? It really was fucking, I think it was Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017. And so that shit was like 9 years ago. Like that was the last time I think I genuinely heard about the whole world losing their shit over loot boxes. So ever since then, it's been like essentially like blacklisted from marketing plays. Like nobody talks about loot boxes openly if you're trying to advertise for a game. So yeah, like Carson mentioned, it's a little bit too late. Should have done it way sooner, but yeah, I only see upsides, man. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. When I first heard the news about it as well, I was like, oh yeah, that completely makes sense, because just based on the rules of gambling, you can't take a 14-year-old to a casino and expect them to play slot machines. Why would a video game be any different?
I am going to check you just a little bit, Zach. Check might not be the best word. Right now, though, I guess I'm going to reel back saying too little too late now that I think about it a little more, because there is right now still ongoing a big controversy with loot boxes, and that's with Counter-Strike and Valve.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes,
yeah, there is a
right.
shitload. There's like almost $1 billion worth of lawsuits tied up against Valve right now because of loot boxes, and how it's not just gambling. That's been used for children to gamble. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people that push it now started when they were teenagers. Some of them were even younger than being teenagers, because you could skirt around all of it through Steam. So it's good that it finally happened. I don't know that it's too little too late after all. It definitely should have happened sooner. And it will also be interesting to see moving forward how this affects some of those games. Because I don't know if Overwatch springs to mind as a game that has or had loot boxes. I don't know if it still does.
I think it does.
I know CSGO does or did or whatever, but that's an M-rated game, so it's not exactly going to change a ton, but still. Curious to see where that goes.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because coming to mine, I think the biggest game in Europe that probably uses loot boxes are probably the FC games. So I guess we'll just wait and see what happens when the next FC game comes out. All right, let's do one more from Zordon's Outlet before we start the topics off. Why? This question is from Geodude. Why is Geodude named Geodude? That's a good question. You should probably ask somebody who works at the Pokemon company. All right. Let's talk about this one. Just popped up within the last couple of hours. DLSS. Zach, I know that you had mentioned it a little bit ago in our chat. Carson, I don't know if you have seen too much about what just happened with DLSS 5.0, but apparently they showed it off and showed a few games that are going to be using it. It's AI upscaling for the 50 series cards, I want to say, and it is not making people too happy because everything just looks over filtered, especially on a lot of character models. They showed Hogwarts Legacy, how a 15-year-old now looks like he's 40. Grace from Resident Evil Requiem got a facelift, and people are like, she didn't need to get a facelift. This makes her look not, what's the word? It makes her look almost alien, I would say.
They're very uncanny valley.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Not happy about it.
I managed to, within the hour, sneak in the recording of a video, so I'll have a lot more to say about it, but not to repeat myself again for the most part. Super fucking weird way to release this, because DLSS is strictly upscaling with a little bit of DLSS 4.5, which came out back in January. And was revealed in January, and now we're talking about 5.0 now here in March, although 5.0 sounds like it's slated for release this fall. Like, it's just upscaling with a little bit of like, we're going to touch up the image quality to make it look like it's what they're calling ground truth, but native rendering is what anybody else would have said. But this time that's like not the case at all. They're like touching up lighting values. They're changing like placement of shadows. They're changing the way that like lighting comes in. And that's like super heavily done on character models and environment to the point where they're like killing artistic intention essentially. And all of these games just look like they have the exact same lighting engine, even though they're all trying to achieve different looks. They're all trying to achieve different tones, but DLSS 5 has like condensed it all down into one AI filter that just looks the same across everybody. And so like I'm going to give NVIDIA the benefit of the doubt because they did say that these tools are capable of being trained by the devs and should be able to be toned up and tuned by the devs. So like arguably in the devs' hands, that means it will achieve the same tonality and look that they were searching for originally. It just looks like whose ever idea it was to reveal this to the world just didn't consider the idea of just copy and pasting all of this shit onto this stuff, because it does kill the tone. Like, yes, the lighting is incredibly accurate now. Like, that's cool, but like you've like removed all the personality from the games, and like now this breeds into a whole other argument about photorealism versus like graphical aesthetics. And do games need to look photorealistic, and can they look photorealistic and still have graphical aesthetics? Because these aesthetics have been born out of limitations for so many years, and now you're telling me that I can just have a perfect image, and like where's the limitations in an image that is perfect? So like where's the artistic integrity? So it's fucking nuts. I've kind of touched up on everything I said in that video and condensed it a lot down, which is probably good for me because, dude, I was trying so hard to like get my thoughts out. I was all over the place. But fuck, bro, like it's wild to see them do that. I the one last thing that I want to say, I want Carson to chime in on this if he was able to check it out. Like, why the fuck are they putting this in DLSS? Like, why not just rebrand this technology and move it over to like something else? Why does it have to be DLSS like 5.0? Because the rest of DLSS has been about remaking the ground truth that's NVIDIA's marketing language to make it almost like you're not using DLSS. Like, that's been the whole goal of DLSS all the way up until 4.5. And now DLSS 5 is just going to change the image quality completely by adjusting lighting values to whatever an AI thinks that lighting should look like realistically, which has not been the goal of DLSS, not to retain its native rendering and make you think that it's magically giving you frames. It's going to change the look and feel of everything. So why is this not a separate technology? Like, that's my big question, because if that's the case, I'm never going to use 5.0 on certain games. Like, I'm always going to just use 5 or 4.5. I will mod the game and go backwards because that's possible to do. So, like, super weird. Super fucking weird. Anyways, I want to hear what Carson thinks about this because I know he's probably got some thoughts. If he's even here, he might have gone. He might have bounced.
Yeah, we
so
might
like
have.
Oh, he's coming in. He's coming in.
You really hit on most of what I would have to say. The one example that really kind of killed me in terms of like destroying a game's aesthetic, which is what you were kind of hitting on. They showed off Indiana Jones, and allegedly Bethesda signed off on this shit and supports it, which kind of blows my mind because I can't imagine how many millions upon millions upon millions of dollars were spent to perfectly capture Harrison Ford's likeness for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And then you show off this DLSS bullshit, and it looks like what you would see on the package of the Indiana Jones costume at the Spirit Halloween, you know, where it would be legally distinct Adventure Man with whip and hat. And it's stunning because Great Circle is an incredible looking game, and you want to pile this bullshit on top of it. I don't really get the purpose of this shit, because in theory, at least to me, I would think that you're trying to, I don't know, make it so that people who don't have as good of specs are able to play games still, because that's what I thought DLSS was. It was frame generation. And now you want to do something that I don't get it. I just don't get. I can't even formulate like a sarcastic, not even a funny like joke or some bullshit to be like, oh, maybe it's like, no, this does not make fucking sense to me. What is our end goal here? Who is this for? Who wants this? Who asked? Because in my experience, in my 35 years on this fucking earth, when you showed off a tech demo, that was to show what the technology is capable of. If that's what this is supposed to be, if this is as good as your technology can get, if this is supposed to wow and impress me and everyone else, you fucking missed the mark. What is this? Who is this for? Why does this exist? What is it even going to do? You're telling me that devs can go in and tweak this and make it closer to the aesthetic? Why the fuck was that not done for the tech demo? Why was that not done for this conference? Why was it not done for any of this shit? Why are you showing this shit off and then turning around and saying, oh, well, gee whiz, the devs will be able to make it look better. We're just the simple people that make the fucking tech in the first place. I could go all night about how god-awful this is, about how NVIDIA does not care about you. They don't care about me. They're pricing us out of all this shit anyway. So I don't even know why they're bothering to pretend like any of this AI bullshit is even for a consumer-grade consumption, because let's be real, give it 3 years, no one's going to buy an NVIDIA card unless you want a fucking data center. So what's the point? Who is this for? Who could give a shit? At the end of the day, I will surmise all of my thoughts and all of Zach's thoughts and all of JT's thoughts and all of your thoughts about DLSS and this horse shit that we just sat through. DLSS. Get rid of the D, get rid of the L, add an A. That's what it is. Eat shit. I'm going to hit my hello. Mute.
And there he goes. All right.
Yeah.
That's everything I hope for.
Yeah, I'm on the same side as you guys. Because I didn't watch the conference about it. I just saw people post about it. And I watched Sunbro's video. And he was talking about it. And the entire time that he's kind of like explaining like what's happening. Because, I mean, he had similar thoughts to what we're all thinking. I'm just like, yeah, it's exactly what Carson said. Who the fuck is this for? Because I'm looking at it and, it is definitely not for me, because I'm not going to buy a 50 series card for anything. You can't put a card in a Mac. So I already know, like, I'm, not the target audience here. But I'm thinking about you guys the entire time I'm watching it. And I'm like, I don't think that. And this was like right after you had posted about making your video, Zach, and I'm like, oh, I know he's got some thoughts.
Yeah.
I know that he's probably not feeling this whatsoever.
I was sitting here today being like, I'm going to record today. I'm trying to be consistent about it. And I thought I was going to do a video about the Steam Machine and the Steam Deck and talking about how fucking cool I think those things are. And then this happened like an hour before I got off of work, and I was like, oh, I gotta fucking talk about this one instead. Because like this hits a bunch of conversation points for me that I've actually been thinking about for years now. Because like neural rendering stuff like this is not really new. You've probably seen the online clips of people taking like neural engines and putting them over gameplay footage and then re-uploading to YouTube. Like that shit's gone viral for a while. Like one of my favorite ones is the Favela mission from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Like looks pretty realistic, has some issues with stylization, of course. And this video I think is like 3 years old now. So there's an interesting thing to do here, but like adding it to video games that weren't designed with this technology in mind, with a model that wasn't trained on these games' aesthetic looks. And then like, dude, we never even talked about like the fucking facial changes that it did. Well, we mentioned it briefly. I don't think Carson mentioned it. Like,
that's what I meant by the Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on there? Like, I understand that it's lighting values, and I'm familiar enough with filmography and photography to know that when you put lighting on people's faces at different angles, it changes the look of their face, and like that's a huge deal about getting like placement and silhouettes correctly. So redoing the lighting values on these characters' faces will make them look different, but like it just looks like I put an AI Instagram filter on fucking Grace and Leon Kennedy. Like, it's as if I went to ChatGPT and I said, render me a photo of Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 4 and make him like in his late 50s. And then that's what it gives you. But like, that's actually the video game that they wanted to try and promote it with. So I'm just like, dude, like, okay, it could be cool tech because I want to fucking like be an optimistic human being. But the way that they're presenting this and the way that this works is like, I don't actually see this being useful this way. Like I just see it being like those fucking RTX mods that people do on Cyberpunk, where it's like, I have an RTX 5090. I actually have 3 of them in my fucking desktop PC, and I enabled all the ray tracing and all of the color correction mods, and I turned them all on, and everything looks like real life now, but it doesn't look like Cyberpunk anymore. It's like, okay, you got rid of all the stuff that makes that game appealing, though. And then also, yeah, who is this for? Like, that's something I never touched on my video when I recorded it. Like, there's only like a small handful of people in the world that can actually utilize this fucking technology to make your game look more generic. Like, I'm just confused. Like, give this more time to bake in the oven. Maybe work with the devs for implementation, but like right now, man, it doesn't make anything I think really look all that better. It just kind of brings it all to this weird homogenized point, which is what all AI art does.
Yeah.
So fuck. Like the environments look cool. I'll give it that. It does look really real, but that's kind of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only takeaway that I was like, okay, like that looks interesting was the environments that they showed off in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I knew you were going to mention that one. Yeah, those ones look pretty interesting, and they do a good job rebalancing everything. But after the fact, it's also like, if you look really closely, there's some very intentional shadows in the forest that those guys went through, like in the plazas of a couple of those temples, and they're all gone now. So it's like, I get realistically, because this is a real model trying to go off of really accurate shadow and lighting data, that wouldn't come through, but that was developer intention. So like, where does that line stop here? Why are we handing over the entire post-processing graphics pipeline of a video game to a neural network? Like, should humans even be involved at that point? Because the neural network, you could make it look like a fucking N64 video game and it will rewrite the entire game over. That's what they said. They said you could take Minecraft and it would just RTXify your Minecraft instance. Like, why even have any level of post-processing, like artistic intent at all, if you can just make the game look like garbage and then a neural net writes over the whole thing? Like, where's the point? Like, that's what this does. That's not what DLSS has been for. So why? I just want them to brand it differently and just fucking go. It's a separate technology. It's not DLSS 5 because so far I don't want to use it. Yeah,
and for me, it's
shut up now. I could go on like Carson said about this for forever.
Yeah, we got a question from Orange Soda Jen asking, will anybody be using DLSS 5? Jen, no.
Yeah, I will probably try it, but I can't see myself using this as a long-term solution for games. Like, I'll sit there and I'll turn it on and be like, huh, that was cool, but like now all my games look the same, so I think I'm going to go turn this off.
Yeah,
there's
if I wanted
also
all my
huge performance overhead too, and that's the whole point of DLSS is it makes your game run better. And right now, the demos that they showed used 2 RTX 5090s, which is the top tier card of the generation. You need 2 of those fucking things to make this thing work. So, like...
So is this just like I guess this is more of a thing that is less like, hey, this is in the imminent future, like this, it's coming this fall, I suppose. And is probably more of a ploy to get stupid people, or stupid people with too much money, aka investors, on board. That's what I'm thinking.
That could be it.
That
would make a ton of sense.
I did not realize how much raw horsepower that shit took. And that tells me it's not consumer ready. Which is fair. But even to investors, why would you show off something that looks that fucking bad? It's not impressive when it looks bad. When it's a step down from what we have at this very moment, I don't get it. Even as a ploy to get funding from investors, I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel like you're right on the money with that. It's a ploy to get money from investors. Which, yeah, man, we'll see. I guess if it works out for them. Nvidia has done a lot of weird things in the gaming space over the past 3 years. And yet, a console that we all love is heavily reliant on them.
I've been peeping through my Dreamweaver a little bit here, and I'm going to throw out a conspiracy theory that I know for a fact is not true, but I'm going to say it anyway. This whole thing is because the AI bubble is in the process of bursting, and this was like a Hail Mary from Nvidia to get a last push of funding before the AI bubble totally bursts.
Gosh, I hope you're right. I hope you're right about the AI bubble bursting.
I'm sure I'm so fucking wrong. I'm sure I'm so fucking off base. But it'd be really funny if that's why. And that's why it's like, yeah, it takes 2 5090s. And it's like, oh, okay. But like, give us money for the future.
2 5090s?
Yeah, it takes 2 to do it. The demos that they were using, one 5090 was doing the base rendering of the game, and then the other one was running DLSS 5 to try and like write over the other 5090s. Initial efforts.
Who has
who's got
money
2
for
5090s?
two?
Fucking, I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying. I didn't realize that until Zach said it.
Yeah,
that's why
that was part
I'm
of the
thinking
Digital Foundry video when they were going over it. They were talking it took 2 of them.
So if it took 2 of them, that tells me this is just like, hey, this is the technology we're working on. That kind of shit happens all the time. And then like the actual tech never makes it to like a consumer level. It's just a, hey, look, this is what we're doing. I don't know if it still is, but like back in the day, that's what the Consumer Electronics Show used to be, was like, look at all this fucking shit. And there would just be the like wildest stuff there that like would never actually get made.
Just a big trade show. We're trying to show off our cool R&D shit to investors.
Fuck, is that going on right now? Because if that's what this was all a part of, I'm going to feel really fucking
that's
stupid.
What's so weird about this. They showed this off at GDC. Yeah, and so like fucking CES was in January, and they showed off DLSS 4.5. And now it's only been like fucking 2 months, and now we're talking about DLSS 5.0. and it's doing this, and it doesn't save you any performance, and it makes your game look completely fucking different. So like,
then you need two 5090 cards.
Right now you need
to
two
get it to
5090s to make it work.
I mean,
so it's
like
what are
that's
we
why
doing?
I'm saying, like, it's definitely not at a consumer level, and I don't think I don't think for a second that they're trying to imply that it is, and that's what would make me think that it's a ploy for investors, or I don't know, ploy might be the wrong word, but you know, something that is like, hey, this is what we're working on, and like it takes this much now, but eventually we'll get it to a point where it runs on like one of our old cards or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That makes more sense as to why it exists and everything. I did not realize, because the shit did just go live.
Yeah, it's just
like,
breaking. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten to look into it much outside of like the demos, which I did not think were great. Obviously, I kind of made my point on that already. Yeah. But it sounds like to me this isn't something that's like imminent. I'm still opposed to it. I still do not understand what purpose this could be even used for, really. Like, how is this going to help developers in any way? How does this benefit the consumer in any way? Like, it, you know what? Maybe it doesn't even have to. That's where my little conspiracy theory comes in of like, this is just to get stupid people with too much money, investors, to go, oh my god, and buy into Nvidia. Like, that literally might just be what it is. That's the only sense that I can make of it, and even then, it's super flimsy. I really don't have a whole lot. Unlike, I mean, fuck, I don't know. March 31st is the end of the fiscal year, so a last minute cash put? I don't know. I
don't know. I think you might be onto something,
I'm just grasping at straws as to why you would just do this out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really does
feel
feel
like a
out of nowhere.
consumer-ready thing. I thought it was something that was going to be like imminently available, and it sounds like to me it's not something we're going to see ready for home use anytime soon. If it consumes that much horsepower, I don't. If they get it optimized in that amount of time, it means they probably used AI, and it will be dog shit. So it won't even be what they're showing off.
Right.
Yeah.
So
like, it's always got to be
literally the only two options. It's way
bent.
far off, or it's coming soon and it's going to be way worse than that. And the question returns of who the fuck, why the fuck. But
yeah, according to Digital Foundry, it's the fall of 2026 is what Nvidia told them.
Okay,
and that's where we think it's coming into play. But I don't fucking really like, so like the whole performance thing, right? Like, that's what makes DLSS awesome, is like it does a good job at building out a image that could have been native, and from a native image up to something that looks like a native image. Why are you changing it? And then with the possible major performance regret, like, that's the whole fucking point of the technology, is to like give us some frames back, because you have this magical AI rendering tech that can rebuild everything for me. But now we're changing it, and it takes 2 graphics cards to handle right now, and you're telling me that you're gonna nail that down to 1 in fucking 6 months, and like, am I still gonna get all of the same performance benefits? Like, why is this not a different technology? Why did you use the same brand name? Like, why isn't this like Nvidia Vision or something? Like, what's up with this? But
I think if they would have used a separate like brand name, because I'm with you on this, but I think if they would have used a different brand name, it would have confused people. And I feel like they just want everything to kind of be samey, but it is, like you said, it should be different tech. So I don't know. I get why they are calling it DLSS, but at the same time, it's still just, it's weird that they're even doing this.
Yeah. I can see the use case of using like a neural engine on your graphics pipeline, but the way that they're going about it just like defeats the whole purpose of doing it in a good spirited way. Like it's going to kill what artistic integrity could be left out of the generative AI era of, if there even is any. But fuck me, man. I just want my games to be fun.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of higher ups are missing that piece of, we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
We don't need all this extra bullshit. We literally are just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, NVIDIA is literally a tech company. They're not a developer or anything. So, like,
It's true.
I can't really fault them for trying to make something, even if I think it's total horse shit.
Yeah. They could do something. I mean, they could get into the fun industry. They could come out with easy bake oven or a toaster.
They're fucking NVIDIA, not Black & Decker. What the fuck?
Let's go to a couple other Zordon's outlet questions while we're here. We got Crispy Crisis Chris. That was a mouthful. If we
Is
do
that
a
three
Mayhem,
C's or is that three K's? Because we got to ban that dude if it's the other one.
it's 3C.
All right, we're good.
Gee.
And I agree. If it was 3Ks, we definitely got to get that guy the fuck out of
for
here.
a second, to be honest. I'm like, this guy's being sneaky.
It's 3Cs. They're all spelled with C's. He's not Colonel Sanders in disguise. If we threw a Mayhem cookout, what will be on the menu? What do you guys tossing on the menu for a Mayhem cookout?
Boigers.
Burgers?
I
Boigers.
want pulled pork sandwich.
I think I'm
Barbecue.
tossing in some tacos.
I'll make tacos. Tacos are good.
Hell yeah.
Good tacos.
Tacos, some wings. Maybe a couple of croissants. You know, in all honesty, a croissant burger, perfect. I could mess with that. And for dessert, maybe some brownies, if you know what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. If it's a cookout, that to me says summer. And my wife, when we would always go to cookouts, and just in the summertime in general, she makes these cherry chip chocolate chip cookies, where it's literally this cherry chip cake mix that she just throws chocolate chips into, and then instead of making it into cakes, she just makes them into cookies, but then bakes them just enough so like they're cooked all the way through, but they don't burn. And they are killer. They're so fucking good. And they really, really hit the spot on like a cool summer night, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, like the kind of summers where like it's super fucking hot during the day, but then it gets to like that nice like 62, 60 degrees in the evening where you can kind of open up the windows and everything.
Good old 69 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, baby, you know it.
Nice.
It's just nice. All right. So when I'm when I make my next round trip, I gotta ask her to bake these cookies.
Oh hell yeah, she'll do it in a heartbeat.
I'm down for that. We have Sakuna Johnson. What's everybody's favorite spring ice cream flavor? These names are Batman villain names, by the way.
Don't believe that for a second.
Crispy Crisis Chris. What the fuck? It's the name of a cereal mascot.
That guy's crazy.
Orange soda gin. Yeah, these are definitely Batman villains.
I don't know. I think that last one was just related to Dwayne.
Sakuna Johnson.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson.
You might be right. He might have a Samoan cousin named Sakuna.
I wasn't gonna say it.
It's not wrong.
I mean,
he's got a lot of cousins. Come on now.
One of them's named Zilla, so I guess it's not that far off.
See, there's gonna be generations of members of the bloodline for the next 100 years.
Fucking many.
It's
just like this one family, and all of them wrestle. Like all of them. Fuck.
Yep.
It's great. I love it.
Speaking of wrestlers, happy 316, everybody.
Oh,
Break some grass and drink some beer. But yeah, favorite springtime ice cream flavor? Wild berry. That sounds like a springtime flavor.
I was gonna say what would constitute a springtime flavor?
I'm thinking like pastel colors, so my brain just went to like cotton candy Baskin Robbins.
Ooh. That definitely would ring in the springtime perfectly.
Yeah.
Does Baskin Robbins still exist?
Somewhere.
Okay.
I actually think there might be one down the block from me attached to a Dunkin' Donuts. No, there is. It's right next to the G line. I could go there. Holy fuck.
That makes complete sense. You should definitely go there
in a minute.
Post a picture about it when you do.
I will.
Carson, you got a spring flavor that hit the brain yet?
Nah, I'm kind of a basic bitch about ice cream, to be honest with you.
What's your flavor? Is it vanilla and chocolate?
You know what is kind of coming to mind, and I almost think it's because of the color, and I also feel like I'm misremembering it. But I feel like Cold Stone or somewhere had like a birthday cake ice cream that was like a light blue with sprinkles. And for some reason, I don't know if it's just because like maybe we would go there in the spring after like Courtney and I went to the movies, and I would get that maybe. For some reason that popped into my mind, and that's just kind of been lingering there, even though it's a bit nondescript birthday cake, but the color specifically reminds me of spring. That kind of baby blue, I guess.
I can mess with that.
The other colors in it sprinkled in.
You got your yellows, your blues, your greens, maybe.
Yeah, whites and reds and everything.
Yeah, I can mess with that. Ice cream is always a good time. I feel like.
What about you?
For me, it's a wild berry.
Damn, you were quick on that.
Yeah, I'm like thinking of wild berry, and yeah, I'm like drinking my protein shake, and I'm like, man, I should have put some berries in this. It's just fucking. Yeah, I guess I did put berries in it. I put strawberry and banana with a little bit of pineapple as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is that time of year where, you know.
Yeah. I guess we
berries start being good.
Let's do this question next. Jack may offer. Which do you want first, Nintendo Land 2 or Punch Out 2? Fellas?
You know what? I'm going to be real. I love Punch Out, but if they were to do anything, I would just like almost kind of a cheap straight port of the Wii game.
I'd be okay with that.
But like, let's be real. I don't think that could happen, and I don't want another Punch-Out to happen because that can't happen.
Yeah.
And I say that because I'm just not sure that you could do a Punch-Out that would be okay to do, that would still be Punch-Out today. You know what I mean?
Because of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's 100%
it's a lot. It's kind of a lot. It goes after everybody. No one is spared.
Yep.
But still, I could see them being like, look, it is what it is. We can't really do this anymore. But then at that point, a lot of Punch-Out, let's be real, as much as I love it, it's not exactly a super, super deep game at the end of the day. There's a lot deeper boxing games out there. And a lot of it is carried by the personality and how colorful every boxer is. And if you take that away or you dumb that down, it just seems a little boring to me and a bit pointless, I guess. So like, I say all that, and I think that if there's a company that could maybe navigate that and come out okay on the other end, it would maybe be Nintendo. But all that being said, Nintendo Land 2. I don't even think I would get any level of the mileage that I got out of the first one, and the first I don't feel like I got enough mileage out of. But at the same time, I did. I say that because we didn't use my copy that much. We always used yours.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the shit unlocked that you did. But that game ruled. So many fucking good memories playing that game with you guys, because that was the first fall that we were all friends. It was the fall that fucking game came out. God, that'll be 13 years. 14 years. It's already 13 years. It'll be 14 years here. And
yeah, I was gonna,
like 7 months. Jesus.
Jeez.
Fucking old. Anyway. I really like Nintendo Land. I don't think they should do a port of that because of all the gimmicks. You know, you kind of neuter it if you did.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind seeing that followed up. I don't think they ever will. I don't know if they even should. But I think I'd be more interested in seeing them do something fun with that rather than another Punch-Out. Just give me Punch-Out Wii. I'll shut the fuck up. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel the same exact way as you on this one, where I would love another Nintendo Land, because Nintendo Land honestly had no reason being as good as it was, but I'm really happy it was that good just because of the memories that it gave us. Because Nintendo Land honestly carried the Wii U for us until fucking, I want to say, Mario 3D World came out, which over a year at that point. But the game was goated. Punch-Out would be cool, but they're never gonna go back because of the reasons you said, stereotypes. It'd be cool if they could figure out a way to do that. Maybe instead of doing stereotypes, it's just little Mac goes on this grand adventure to beat up other Nintendo characters. I think that could be a really good time. Like your first fight is fucking, you're in space and you got to fight Slippy Toad. That'd be amazing. And I would actually Nintendo cut the check, because we might be onto something here. But no, I don't think Punch-Out's coming back. I would love to see it come back in some way, but Nintendo Land is fucking goated, man. And I don't know if that comes back either, but who knows? We'll see. Mega Man fucking came back. I think it's Nintendo Land's time.
Well, yeah. Are you talking about Mega Man 11 or the new Mega Man? That's
The dual overrides.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
We need to see more of that game before I can like make like any judgments about it.
Capcom needs to stop being scummy about that game. Did you hear
Oh,
that?
are you talking about the voice
the
acting?
shit with his
Yeah.
voice actor? That's so scummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case you
They
didn't hear
told
at
him-
home, just to, clue you in. Capcom wanted Mega Man's voice actor to work without union roles, and that's like illegal. That's why unions exist. And he said no, so they fucking fired him. So right now, there is by SAG-AFTRA, the Writers and Actors Association, a do not work order on this fucking Mega Man dual override, and the project's kind of in disarray right now, which is fucking nuts. It's a Mega Man game. What the fuck? How does that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, what did you do?
Why are you even asking this? What?
It's almost like Mega Man's cursed in a way.
I just don't get it. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like they're strapped for cash. Like, what the fuck? We were literally just praising them.
Yeah, like, and I got nothing but praise for them for another game that I'm currently playing by them, which is Monster Hunter Stories 3 for people who want to know. And yeah, I think that's just their old heads at a very Japanese company not being with the times, to be honest.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm not clear on, is if it did come from like Japan, like if that was a Capcom of Japan edict, or if that was, like the American branch.
Yeah.
Or both. I'm not privy to that.
I think because as far as like what I like know about the American branch is that they mostly just do marketing.
That's what I thought, so that's why I'm not like really convinced it's them, but
yeah, it's kind of like how
it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a bit of difference.
Yeah,
it's
still
fucking bad
shitty.
either way. Yeah.
But I mean, the game has to come out, so they got to figure something out. Or it's like, it doesn't come out without voice acting, like, or do they change their tune on this and say, okay, like we have to like give in to this and actually make this happen? Which, give into it, like you said, Carson. They're not strapped for cash. Like, they will be fine. Back on the Punch Out and Nintendo Land 2 situation, we didn't hear from Zach yet.
Honestly, I forgot for a second because I was listening to you guys' conversation about Mega Man. I think I'm in the same spot as you guys. I would like to see Punch Out return. It just doesn't make any sense to come back in its current form. You made me remember that like Muppets game or whatever the fuck, like the Puppets box out game that's coming along. Like, so something spiritual successor wise is happening, I guess, because maybe they had a good idea there. It looked fun, but dude, yeah, Nintendo Land all the way. I don't know how you could do that though without getting people to literally require 2 Switch 2s or 2 Switches or whatever to make that game work.
You got to use game chat. Like, it has to be done through game chat.
Yeah, a game chat subscription is required to play Nintendo Land 2.
Yep.
Yeah, ultimate monkey's paw.
That'd be the one weird thing from Nintendo that they would do if they brought something like a Nintendo Land 2 back, is game chat support would be implemented in a lot of those fucking mini games. we would definitely see some shit like that. Let's do a couple more before we get into this Arc Raider situation. We got I guess we are talking about Xbox. Dixie Normus asked, will Project Helix have support for Steam since it will be a PC console? I don't know how they do Steam support without going into like some sort of money deal with Valve.
Well, if it's just Windows that's running the console and there's a desktop to it, the way that there is on like Steam Deck and Steam Machine, and you just have desktop mode, and that's it. You just go to your favorite web browser, you install Google Chrome for all anybody cares, and stop using Edge, and then you just launch Steam. And like, that's it. There's no deals that got to be made. You just launch desktop mode.
Yeah, but the way that they explained it recently seems like it's going to have like the Windows interface on just a console and not necessarily like a whole ass. I don't know. I could like, because I don't use Windows, so I don't really know for sure.
Huh.
But
yeah, I mean, it could be like the what the ROG Ally X is doing,
yeah,
where they
that's
have
the way
their
they
console
explained
front end. Yeah, so like the ROG Ally X is still a Windows desktop, but you can launch an Xbox app that is kind of trying to be similar to the SteamOS's version of like big picture mode, where it feels more like a console experience, but then you back out of the application and then you're just in a desktop. Which is kind of the way that they would have to go about it. But dude, literally, like we haven't had like a whole chance to talk about it, but the comparisons between this and the Steam Machine will be fucking wild, and I can't wait to watch the conversation and discussions begin when those two things start hitting store shelves, because it's going to be like, do you just buy an Xbox and play Steam games on it? And then everyone's like, or do you just buy straight from Valve and potentially have it be cheaper? Maybe. We don't know what the RAM situation is. But like, it's going to be a weird moment, because I know people who are doing that with the ROG Ally X for Xbox right now, where they just get it and then they wipe Windows off and just put on SteamOS, and they're like, fuck it, bro, I don't need this shit. I'm going to do what I want with this thing. Or they just ditch the Xbox app and install Steam and just run from there. So it's going to be strange. Like, I see some weird stuff going down with all this new gear.
I got a question for both of you guys. How much do y'all think the Steam Machine is going to cost?
I think originally I said somewhere between like $700 to $800 before the RAM thing started to kick up, because they were trying to talk about it as if like it's going to be the cost of a traditional PC and they're not going to subsidize it but by the Steam store, because if they did, random ass companies could just come along and go, that's a great deal for a shit ton of compute, and then they would just buy like 50 Steam machines for their office, when that's not who they're trying to sell to. So they can't subsidize it because other like enterprise businesses will run them dry, and they won't actually sell to the people that they're trying to get these things in the hands of. Now though, with the RAM situation, unless Valve is like trying to be really patient and secure a really good manufacturing deal, it's got to be like over $1,000. Like, I don't know how any other way to slice it. Fucking storage prices are like 3, 4, 5 times the price of what they used to be. That's just for SSDs alone. RAM prices are 5 times the amount that they used to be. So like, I can't see any other way unless Valve is like, they found a supplier somewhere doing something and they got an amazing deal with these guys for their first wave. But it's got to be over $1,000, like realistically at this point. The fucking computing market is just so screwed by the DRAM issue.
Yeah, and they're being like really mum on anything Steam Machine at the moment, where they're not really talking price, they're not talking release dates.
Yeah, because they know they've been honest about it. They're like, yeah, we're trying to figure out how to source RAM properly so we can push this thing out. But that's all we've heard, is that it's coming out this year, after that previously like talk or announcement they made on that community post. And then can't remember who, it could have been like IGN or The Verge or somebody, reached out to Steam and asked them to clarify, like, we still plan to launch in 2026, but the RAM is what we're trying to mitigate. And fuck, that's just where we're stuck.
Yeah, Ooh, man. Ramageddon.
Yeah, truly. It's messing up a lot of shit. You can't even buy a Steam Deck right now. They're completely sold out.
Yeah.
They can't make new Steam Decks.
Yep.
Yeah, other consoles to follow suit. This won't be just Steam Decks.
No, I think it's going to, nobody's buying Xboxes. We know that for a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's going to affect Nintendo and Sony as well. Which, speaking of Nintendo, I don't know if this has been like this for you guys here recently, but I log onto my Switch and I see people playing Pokopia, and I know for a fact that those motherfuckers did not have Switch 2s weeks ago. And I'm like, this game got them to crack. I know a good friend of, I think, Carson, you know Will and Brittany as well. Zach, I don't think you got a chance to meet them because you and I had met after they had already moved out of Colorado. But I know Brittany posted on her Instagram a week or so ago, that she was like, all right, I just had to buy it because I'm tired of seeing the hype and not being invited to the party. And I feel like that's happened to a lot of people. Nintendo posted recently that this game in 4 days sold 2.2 million. I want to make this short and sweet. What do you guys think this one ends up lifetime? The best-selling Pokemon spinoff was Pokemon Stadium at 5.6 million. I think this does 5.6 million by the end of March. Where are you guys at lifetime trajectory with this game?
Yeah, what do you think, Carson?
8.9 mil.
All right.
8.9. All right.
I think I'm going to Price is Right Carson and just say 7.
Lifetime 7?
7.
All right. Call me the crazy one. I have this game lifetime hitting 25 million. I think
is wild.
I think this is going to end up being, if not the best-selling Pokemon game, one of the best-selling Pokemon games, like as a whole.
Who recently announced that they got 20 million sales out of their last title? Like, I can't remember who I just fucking saw the headline for.
It wasn't Slay the Spire, was it?
It might have been. It might have been somebody else. I can't remember. But somebody just announced 20 million for like a game that came out a little while back. And I was like, damn, good for you guys. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, which we all know that's incredibly difficult to do for a lot of games. But I think if one franchise can do it, it's probably Pokemon. And the reason why I think this one could eclipse 20 million up to 25, if not even higher, is I don't know when the next Animal Crossing comes out. And I feel like a lot of that audience, a lot of the Dragon Quest Builder audience, I don't know how much those games like move the needle, but I feel like a lot of the cozy game audience, the people who like the Animal Crossings, the Stardew Valleys, and things of that nature, are going to show up for this game really hard. And I feel like they already kind of are. So that's why I feel like, because like I was saying earlier, I mean, it's just, I log onto my Switch and I see people, at least 4 people who I know didn't have Switch 2s, now have Switch 2s, and they're playing this game. And
watch last week's episode with my lovely wife. She talks all about it.
Exactly. I just feel like this game has moved people differently than what a lot of those games have done in the past. And that's a good thing. It's good to see a Pokemon kind of do this, especially after the last few have not really been what people have wanted graphically. But for people to jump into this one, and this game runs like butter apparently, and for people to be building these massive Pokemon landscapes, somebody on my Instagram I saw built this entire like metropolis looking city, and I was just like, that's insane. But good for them. I'm glad people are having fun with this one. But yeah, 25 million is where I'm at. I guess we'll see in 8 years at the end of the console generation.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Thinking about like the demographics that this game is definitely hitting and going the distance on that fucking rating that it's got nailed down. Like, dude, I'm even a little curious in that game. I probably won't pick it up unless I see it on for a sale or something, but it seems to hit those two little gripes that I have when it comes to like Animal Crossing games and a lot of those cozy games of like the chores being really overwhelming and often time gated, and the community aspect not being as fun because of the chores. And so Pokopia kind of hits this like perfect balance from what I keep hearing of like community and the chores just flow perfectly together into this like fun creative mess. And that fucking sounds pretty cool, and maybe I will pick that up someday. So I can see it. It's hitting like two fan bases that kind of want something to go in that direction, and here it is. They're kind of getting it.
Yeah, it seems like the Pokemon people and the cozy game people are showing up for this. And when you merge those two groups together, you just get a giant,
just a wave,
mass of people.
Just a wave of people.
Yeah, it's like a rave.
Less LSD, but we're still seeing lizards.
It could be some LSD thrown in there. We got a couple more questions, and then we'll talk about Arc Raiders. Horns of the Herd. When do you guys think the next general Nintendo Direct will be?
I thought it was going to be soon.
Hear from you guys, and then I'll give my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be soon, but we've heard fucking nothing. So now I'm like, we're not going to get a Direct till June, are we? So like, that's how I'm feeling now. I don't think we're getting anything till this summer, because I thought that it would have been this week or last week.
Definitely ain't next week. I can tell you that much. Carson, when do you think the next General Direct is going to appear out of the woodworks?
I have no idea, and I find it extremely strange how hard they're leaning on the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like, they've said several times it's the 40th anniversary of Mario, and the centerpiece is the movie. The centerpiece for the 40th anniversary of the video game is a motion picture. That's fucking weird.
What are we doing? Yeah.
That is really weird. For Nintendo, that is really fucking weird. So I give up. I can't guess. I don't know what they're doing. I can't guess what they're doing. They're more of an enigma now than I think they've arguably ever been. Especially because I don't have any kind of... I get basically all my information about Nintendo that's like insider from you, JT. And I got nothing else. And so coming from that and just, the occasional news update that I get from them, I don't fucking understand them anymore. Not that I think I can ever truly say I did, but now it's just like I don't even try. They're just gonna do whatever the fuck they want. Somehow it'll work out. There's a new type of adult Disney weirdo, and it's like people that get really weird about Nintendo. When it's like, hey, you're 35 and have an 8-year-old. Like, come on now.
He's the one excited to be at Universal Studios right now seeing Mario Land.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, all of us like Nintendo shit, obviously, but, like, don't make it weird, man. It's like the new version of a Disney adult. Like, don't get weird about Nintendo, man. Just don't.
The Nintendo adult. Yeah.
It's weird.
Here's what I will say, which is more speculation than anything. Because Carson, I'm with you. I think it is pretty weird that they're really leaning on the motion picture Mario Galaxy movie. And because I was talking to Zach off screen about this probably about a month ago. and I said, hey, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct the week of Mario Day. And we were both like, yeah, like, sounds about right. And there was a Nintendo Direct the week of Mario Day. It was the fucking movie Direct. And when I asked person about it that I normally get info from, person says, hey, there's a Nintendo Direct during that time. Person didn't say what type of Direct it was. So I can't really be like, all right, well, they didn't tell me anything wrong. But here's where my speculation train station hat is now being put on. I do not believe there will be a Nintendo Direct general showcase of new games from Nintendo and games that we already know are coming until this summer. And the reason I believe that is because of the weirdness that they are being with the movie and how many times they are reiterating that this is the, grand finale, as they want us to believe that this is going to end the Mario 40th anniversary. The last Mario movie that came out was in spring of 2023, around April, same time as when this movie's coming out. Y'all know what game came out in the fall of that year? Super Mario Wonder. They didn't tell us that game was coming out until the summer of that year. Here's the speculation part of this. I think the next Mario game is going to be in the next Nintendo Direct. And the next Mario game is Super Mario Galaxy 3. And I believe that they are now announcing it, and they do not want to mention it until the movie is out. People have seen it. They've made $1 billion. And then they're like, hey, we're glad that you guys really like that movie that we just put out. Here's the next game from Mario. And it follows up Mario Galaxy 2 and shit that we just saw in the movie. And everybody can get really excited about that. And that game's going to make them $1 bajillion again. Because people have Mario Galaxy fresh on the brain. They just saw the movie. They might have bought 1 and 2 that came out a year ago. And they can start hyping everybody up about that in the summertime. You know when I think that game is going to come out? November 19th. You know what else comes out November 19th? Grand Theft Auto 6, allegedly. Because Mario is the only IP that can truly, I would say, go hand in hand with Grand Theft Auto as far as coming out on the same day. And you got one audience that is going to buy GTA 6. You got your other audience who's going to buy Mario Galaxy 3. And some people are probably going to buy both. But if fucking GTA 6 is not on the Switch too, a lot of people are just going to buy Mario Galaxy 3. That's my speculation station hat. I don't know anything. I have not asked about anything. I know third-party games that I have ties to from friends that work at third-party companies. That's about it. So yeah.
Big guess. Heard it here, folks. March 16th, 2026. Stamp it on your fucking calendars because JT has called it all here. I want to see that play out, dude. That'd be legendary. Genuinely.
Oh yeah, if that happens that way, then I'm going to fucking, I don't know, I'm gonna go rent a boat for a day and just have a big fucking sign and say I called it.
Walk the earth, yeah. Just walk around with a sign everywhere you go, be like, called it.
Like, I am a genie. You give me a wish and I will see if it could come true or some shit. All right, let's finish up here and talk a little bit about Arc Raiders.
Hold up. Isn't that a fucking fortune teller?
Yeah, that.
Not a genie.
Genie? You're trying to get free rubs, dude. You're not a genie.
I'm gonna dress up like Sinbad and fucking just go ballistic with saying, yeah, like I know the future or some shit. Only when it comes to Mario games, though.
Just Mario games. That's the monkey's paw part of the wish.
Yeah, because, I mean, they gotta have something for the holiday. I truly believe that. they won't go a holiday season without 4 or 5 decently sized titles. They're not just gonna, rest on Pokemon Pokopia.
No, there's no way. I don't understand why they're not saying something. It's making all of the Nintendo adults, by the way, kind of lose their shit a little bit because everyone's like, "There's no games on my favorite device."
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, there will be games though. Can you be patient? Can you wait?
We got a few really good games that just came out. You just had this year's Barbenheimer of Resident Evil Requiem and Pokemon Pokopia. You got Monster Hunter Stories 3. You got Capcom's fucking carrying. Final Fantasy VII Remake just came out. Rebirth is about to come out. Like there's a lot
and
to
Zelda
play.
will release at some point when they are ready. There's no way that Nintendo's not doing that stuff.
Yep.
So, like, hold your horses. It'll be there.
Yeah, we'll get there soon. Our last topic. Let's talk a little bit about Arc Raiders. Zach, you might have to carry us on this one because I don't know too much about the situation. But apparently they are scrapping AI voices to be used in this game.
Yeah, so the AI voices...
Hang on. Before Zach goes, can I chime in on this real quick?
Yes.
What's up?
Okay, I yield my time to Zach.
Wait.
Yo, what a trade, bro! Just reversed the fuck out of everybody. All right. Let me catch my train of thought because it left the station and I handed it to Carson and then he just fucking pulled the reverse lever.
What was I saying?
Oh, so last time that this was in our fucking chat, I'm pretty sure we talked about Arc Raiders and how, like, I have a pretty defeatist attitude on, like, AI stuff getting incorporated into games because, like, dude, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna stop it? It's fucking cool seeing that they're pulling back on it and they're like, actually, you know what, quality's not as good, and they're gonna fucking redo a bunch of the voice lines. So, like, the way that the voice lines are done in Arc Raiders is it is all AI, and their excuse for doing it was, like, anytime you ping something or you push an item or a button or whatever the fuck that you click on that you're like, I want other people to notice this, your raider will speak that exact object, which is very cool. But the only way they were able to handle that, I guess, for efficiency reasons, was by using AI across the board and just getting all of those recorded. But that also extended to all of their, like, vendor cutscenes. So anytime you talked to anybody anywhere and they gave you a little monologue about what's going on in the world, it was an AI voice to text speech that would just give you the rundown. And one of them sounded okay because he's a robot, so it's like, yeah, that's kind of, like, believable that the robot would have a robot sounding cadence and voice. But the rest of them, they always had something going on with their delivery that was a little bit like, okay, like, that definitely doesn't sound right. It sounds good. It sounds better than normal text-to-speech does, but, like, I can still tell this is getting prompted. And so they're walking it back. Like, over time, the CEO came out and was like, you know what? Like, the quality just isn't as high. So they're hiring regular voice actors and they're redoing all of the voice work and they're getting rid of their AI stuff, which is pretty sweet because that game's fucking awesome and deserves a lot of props. And that was like the one sore spot of Arc Raiders for the most part, was their AI implementation. And, like, at the time, I was feeling really bummed about it because I was like, dude, like I can't stop the world from using AI. And if my favorite games are going to start implementing it, like, I have to make the choice of, like, do I not purchase or do I, like, whatever? And no one's going to be able to pull the brakes, so I decided just to jump in anyways. But now I don't feel so bad, and now I'm actually quite happy that we have an example of a company listening to the feedback and actually pulling back on the AI features they've been implementing, because so far it's just been like, fuck you, I'm putting it in anyways, or I'm just going to hide it a little bit better next time. And that's the one we've seen the majority of the time, that there's a big issue with AI generation stuff in video games. It was just like, we changed it. We probably are still using it in other places, but we'll be more like stern about our quality control. Well, this is like a genuine example of like a company going, that's not good actually, and we're just gonna rip it out entirely and bring back the human element, which is dope. Like, I just haven't seen that go down.
That is pretty sweet, actually. That they notice a bad business move. They say, you know, this could actually be brand damaging, that we're using AI and it's still like just not giving us quality, which we all know, like the AI bullshit. Like when we see it and when we hear it, it sounds fake, it looks fake, and people are just kind of like tired of like the stained glass window look of it, is what I would call it, or just the raspy, oversaturated fucking sound of it. And the fact that they recognize that and said, you know what, we're not going to double down on this. We're just going to say, fuck it. Like, let's do something different.
Yeah.
Real fucking cool. I like that.
And they have the money to do it. Like, it's not an excuse for them at this point to not hire the work.
Oh, yeah.
Like, originally, sure, whatever. You can make like a budget argument of like, yes, we're using the AI voice to speech as like a small, somewhat independent studio, not housed by like major publishers, of just like a bunch of veterans breaking off and doing our own thing. We're trying to be more efficient, and this is one of the methods we came up with. Like, yeah, you can make some sort of argument there, but they've made a shit ton of money off of Arc Raiders. They were wildly successful, so like beating around the bush on that tech doesn't make sense. And like, Arc Raiders is such a good fucking example of how to use generative AI like properly, because that's how the AI in the game, like the enemies you fight, were actually made, was using neural networks for like behaviors. That's groundbreaking. That's amazing. That's stuff that can't be done overnight, and that's what this kind of AI technology should be used for, because those enemies behave so realistically, so fucking accurately how they chase you down. It's madness, and you won't get those kinds of behaviors unless you do like generative training and dojo type stuff with them. You should look up like how that AI was made, because it's actually AI, not this generative stuff. And so like, use the AI in the places that actually makes a difference towards the industry, which is smart enemy design, not this like boring, let's just cut out humans and fucking walk away and just leave all of the boring shit to something else.
Shit where you still need people to develop it, and not, I'm gonna just type in a word and like have it develop itself.
Yeah, like the way that they made these fucking drones, the way that they made these spider enemies, like, it's amazing. It's technically the same technology that's underneath all of these transformer models. It's neural networks. And like, goddamn, man, it's impressive. Like, it makes me excited for where you could actually use this stuff in other types of games. Like, if enemies start reacting really realistic to me now, because you put it through some training program that had it run thousands and thousands of different scenarios, and it got really good at making up its own animations for how to fight you, and like makes good decisions on different techniques that the players can take, like, that's sick. That's actual artificial intelligence being used like for its intelligence purposes, not just like, I'm going to make fake art. And that's dope. So that's the stuff that Arc Raiders needs to be remembered for when you talk about its AI, and not the shitty things it generated.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it ever will come to the Switch 2, but if it ever did, like, it's a game that I'd be interested in trying out.
Definitely should. It's an experience. It's not for everybody. Like, honestly, it's not really for me, because I like it, but I don't dive into the extraction shooter side too much. Makes my heart pound like crazy when I get into certain situations. Like, I had the last time I played that game, dude, I bet my BPM was like at 140. I was so fucking like adrenalized in that moment. But damn, man, like, it is, no other game does some of the stuff that game does, but I cannot do it often enough, because it is hard. It is so hard. So it's not really a genre for me on that PvP side, but nothing else plays like it. Like, it really doesn't. That AI and the way that other people break down in different moments, like, that's Arc Raiders. Like, nobody else hands you that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that has me like mildly interested in playing it, is because I hear that from so many people that this is a very unique experience, and nothing else really fits the bill of what this game is doing, which is why it still has such a high player count.
Oh yeah,
because people do like the uniqueness. They don't like just the samey, I would say, shooter genre feeling of a lot of games currently that aren't really living up to their hype.
Benefit sticks.
Yeah,
we all know.
And even because I feel like Marathon was trying to like do what Arc Raiders was trying to do, and Marathon is still kind of like not really getting the player count that Arc Raiders is getting currently. So
yeah, I think Arc Raiders did something kind of special because of that AI focus that they have, where the PvE, like fighting those enemies, is incredibly unique, whereas like fighting Marathon enemies is like, I've fought like plenty of like guys with rifles before, and I've played a lot of Destiny 2, so when I kill those enemies in Marathon, they have the same level of animation quality as Destiny 2 enemies do, so it doesn't really feel super different. Although that Bungie game feel flavor is very well polished up and crafted, I've done that before. And that game is much more PvP focused than Arc Raiders, which does sell itself as kind of a PvE game with maybe some PvP in between. Because those are the moments that make my heart pound so fucking hard, is like everything's chill until one dude decides to be an asshole, and then next thing you know, like, you are running through hell to try and fucking keep your shit and get out alive, and that stuff is so intense. But then you might just go walk around a corner and there's another guy in the corner, and you both look at each other, but neither of you draw your guns, and then you just hop on voice comms. You're like, yo, what's up, bro? And he's like, hey, how you doing? And then it's all chill. It's totally chill. You made a new friend, and both of you are getting out of there alive together. But sometimes you walk into a room and then gunfire just comes out of nowhere, and you're panicking, and then you're rolling out, and then next thing you know, you're running to a train station. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the train station in time. And like, that shit's crazy. And that's where Marathon sits. I think Marathon is way farther down the intensity of the PvP consistently. And that's not what a lot of people wanted out of the extraction genre, because a lot of people hear about that, like, lose your gear, it's over, and it's very intense with the fights. And I think Arc Raiders did a really good job at kind of shifting that line farther towards community and not as intensely towards the I have to fight everybody all the time and it's like kill or be killed, because Arc Raiders really does a good job at sitting between two, where we've got the PvP extraction shooters before. Like Tarkov is not like heavily popular because it is very hardcore, and so Marathon's sitting closer to that hardcore line kind of like takes it away from the casual base that showed up with Raiders. So they can live in their own places. I don't know exactly what's going to happen to Marathon. I hope it sticks around, because I don't want Bungie to fail or anything, but it's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah, it seems like they have come out with a game that targets a very, very broad, well, I won't even say broad audience, because it's definitely not a broad audience.
No,
a very niche audience.
Yeah, the extraction shooter stuff is definitely pretty niche. Arc Raiders broke it into the mainstream because they lowered that barrier to entry so much.
Yeah.
But that end game, dude, is still hard to get to unless you like sink the hours in, because you gotta fucking fight for your life sometimes. And that's just the way that extraction shooters work. Like, there's no getting away from that. But Arc Raiders has a system called a free kit. So if you die, you just pick the free kit, whole new set of gear. You can go in, lose all that stuff in like one life, take another free kit. They're fully unlimited and they're completely viable to use. So like that alone, I think, lowered people's barrier to entry and like nervousness to like give it a shot, because you can just take that free kit, just go in and wander around and go have fun. And like, you don't have to really worry about what you get out with. Maybe you don't even get out at all, but I didn't lose any of my stuff. Meanwhile, I don't think Marathon has a system like that in place. It might. But that's where that hardcoreness got dropped, and now the mainstream got broken.
All right. Somebody do comments on this. If you're playing Arc Raiders and Marathon and want to give us your analysis of both, please feel free to do so. And then that will definitely comment back and tell you where you can come in and have all your thoughts in our Discord server, or soon to potentially be server somewhere else. All right. That kind of like does it for Monday Night Mayhem. Do we have any closing remarks? Let's do something new here real quick. Zach, take 30 seconds. Tell us your game of the week.
My game of the week has been Super Mario Galaxy 2 because I fucking picked it up on Switch a little while ago, and I don't know why it took me so long to do it. I was just kind of waiting. Mario 10 Day came along, and I was like, you know what? Like, I kind of want to find a way to celebrate one of my favorite franchises, and my fiance Lexi was like asking me about Mario Galaxy. So I was like, you know what? Now's the time. So she's been playing a little bit through Galaxy 1. I've been playing through a little bit of Galaxy 2, so that's been my deal.
Hell yeah, brother. Carson, take 30 seconds. Tell us your game of the week.
This is a new segment about the game of the week. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put my back into it. Time me, gentlemen. My game of the week is a beautiful little gem called Atomfall. It takes place in Great Britain in an alternate past in the 60s, where an atomic bomb has gone off and you've woken up in a strange chamber trying to figure out what exactly happened. The game plays more like Stalker and a little twist of Fallout New Vegas in there a little bit. It's very interesting. You don't exactly have waypoints, so you actually have to use the environment and context clues that the game gives you to figure out how to progress. The combat's a little stiff. It's definitely not perfect, but it's an enjoyable game. It's $30, half off on Steam right now. If I were to give it a number like a Chodemeister, I'd say 8 out of 10. Pick it up today.
Hey, that was... Where'd you get, Zach? I want to say that was about 30 seconds.
It was a little over. I think it was like 48 seconds. I could be wrong. I was just using my phone's like digital countdown app, and it's no numbers, so I'm just like counting the ticks. I think it was somewhere between there. A little over by a little bit.
Hell yeah. Well, my game of the week has been Mario Golf Super Rush for the Switch. For the same reason as Zach, I wanted to find a way to celebrate, Mario 10 Day. I don't know why, but I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm really feeling like playing some Mario. What Mario game do I want to play? And I forgot that I had Super Rush. So I was like, I guess we're golfing this week. And I didn't want to go to an actual golf course. So I just set up in my living room, teed up with the Joy-Con, said, hey, buddy, I'm golfing today. And that's what I did. Played some Mario Golf Super Rush.
Nice.
If you haven't played it, check it out.
Nice. Not bad.
Let's get out of here, fellas. Zach, tell the good folks at home where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me here every Monday night. You can also check me out at Zach Fisher TV, where I post my shitty gaming takes of the week. Also, you can check me out at ZF5150 on Twitter, and you can check me out there on itch.io, where I have a vertical slice of a video game called Dead Rangers, if you would like to play. It's completely free. It's a little Metroidvania that took me a little while to make. Just a nice 1 hour 30 demo. And you cost nothing. Play it on your Steam Deck, play it on your Windows PC. It's all right there.
And if you don't play it and you have full access to play it, I'm going to come to your house and push you up the stairs.
And forcefully feed you baby carrots.
That'd be fucking terrible. Carson, tell the good folks at home where they can find you.
You can find me here most Monday nights, and you can also find me at youtube.com/expansionpack. That's youtube.com/expansionpack for Brett's friend Carson. That is most Wednesdays, many Wednesdays, some Wednesdays, who knows, but it is this Wednesday. Brett's friend Carson this Wednesday at noon Central, brand spanking new episode at youtube.com/expansionpack. That's youtube.com/expansionpack for Brett's friend Carson. Come Wednesday at noon. I'm tired. I'm gonna leave. Smooches,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
I knew he was gonna do that.
Yeah.
I wish I gotta fucking tell him this the next time he's around. I hope he fucking hears this part because I've been meaning to say this to him forever. Dude, they need to make an infomercial so bad with like shitty weird cuts and a VCHS like screen over everything and like a weird number that actually you can dial and it'll just be like Carson yelling into the phone for like 20 minutes or something. Like they gotta do it.
You could
Make
probably
me so
force him
happy.
into doing that.
Dude, I want him to do it so bad. It would be so funny. It would be so
Yeah.
funny.
Mention that shit to Brett next time he'll be back in 2 weeks. So you got to tell him that shit.
Yeah, I'll just hit him up on Discord. Like, hey, dude, like I've had this in the back of my head for forever. You got to do this. You got to do it.
That's definitely a Carson type thing. That's both of them. I could see it.
It'd be funny. It'd be super worth it.
Yeah. All right, folks. That's been Monday Night Mayhem. We'll catch y'all next week. Remember to brush your teeth, stay safe, eat your vegetables, and tell somebody you love them. Until then, remember, like, subscribe to all of our YouTube channels. Help your boys out. We'll see y'all next Monday.